Welcome back to the front room, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you, Kai, today to a new artist who you don't know. Well, I'm sure you know the name, and I know you don't know the song. And it's a genre we haven't done yet. It's a genre I really, really like a lot. We're going to be listening to the blues, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be?
So who do you know? Name me some blues artists
I know,
you know through me.
Isn't John Lee Hooker one?
Yes.
John Lee Hooker, Howlin' Wolf.
Oh, wow, yeah.
B.B. King.
B.B. King.
But he's like electric.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess we can stop.
That's about it.
I guess we can stop there because it
happens to be one of them?
It happens to be one of them.
Okay, cool.
B.B. King.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you think you'd know him if you heard him?
I know what he looks like.
Yeah. Well,
but that's about it.
It's a start, I guess.
Yeah.
So BB, man, I just love his guitar playing. I love it. He's considered to be one of the most influential electric guitarists of all time. He's even influenced people who aren't necessarily blues guitarists. His guitar is so nuanced and subtle and kind of melodic sounding. Yeah. You'll get a sense of that.
Huh.
His first single was in 52. This is from a live performance from 1970. It's a song called The Thrill Is Gone. And it was his very first hit that was, it was a crossover, so meaning it was his very first hit that was not only did well on the R&B charts, but it also did well on the pop charts. And I can tell you why he didn't have any earlier, but let's save that for later.
Sure.
Hope you like it.
Good.
You've got to like this. If you don't like the blues, I'm kicking you out of the house.
Does he play with a band or anything like that?
I'll say no more.
Sure.
All right.
I think you waited a very long time to show me this.
I did.
Thank you so much, and of course, this is Lucille.
His guitar's named Lucille.
Yeah.
Your beautiful audience, the last tune we played was especially for you. We hope you like it.
It's so immediately soulful.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. The thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away.
It's a terrific bass line.
You know you've done me wrong.
I never even noticed the bass line. Can you believe that? What do you think of his vocals?
Really good. Unbelievably good. I don't think I've ever heard his voice before. Maybe his guitar playing in passing, but... His guitar playing is finding pockets in the rhythm.
Is it ever, eh? It's a good way of describing it.
The thrill is gone away for good. Oh, the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away for good. I know I'll feel it all one day, baby. Like I know a good man should.
He doesn't even look like he's singing that hard or trying to sing that hard, but his voice is so strong, so powerful.
Yeah. I love the way he contorts his mouth.
Yeah.
We don't want you to clap your hands. I say we don't want you to clap your hands.
Say what?
This is recorded very, very well.
I said we don't want you to clap your hands unless you feel it. If you feel it, then go for yourself. It's all right. If you feel it like you sound, I'll have to do just a little bit more. All right. You know I'm free now, baby. I'm free from your spell.
I really like. Well, he's supposed to be. Can I pause it?
Sure.
I know him as a guitar player.
Yes.
I didn't really think he sung that much or at all, or it didn't even like come into my impression to him of him rather.
Yeah.
But it's so neat how his guitar is just to the side of him and he's singing, and there's this sort of just this beat that's going on in the background, sort of persistent and but a little bit mysterious maybe, and he's not even playing his guitar. And then when
half of the time he's not playing?
Yeah, and then when he finally does play his guitar, he stops singing. So it's like two different voices filling the space.
I got to mention something. I remember playing some rock music, and you said, like, I love guitar solos. Every rock song seemed to have a guitar solo back in the 60s, 70s. And you told me that sometimes you thought the guitar solos in and of themselves might be good, but they don't really necessarily
like add to the song
complete the song or add to the song itself. They're almost like arbitrarily thrown in there some of the time.
Yes. How
do you find this guitar?
I find this to be really, really different.
Yeah.
It's only appeared once, but I think it came in I'm trying to pay attention to the lyrics a little bit, but it's hard for me to totally, because there's so much going on.
Sure.
It's completely new to me. But that being said, it's sort of like one long verse and then there's no chorus and it's just the guitar filling in there. So the guitar, it's sort of like the reward of a chorus, like a break in between all the lyrics.
Right.
So in that way, it's really different, because usually a solo for a rock song comes in where like the third verse would be.
Yes.
And then it finishes off with the final chorus or something like that.
Yeah.
But this is totally different.
Yeah.
So I like the way it's sort of positioned structurally in the track. It's really neat.
His guitar, it's almost like it's talking, like it's a person, you know? Well, he names it Lucille after all, right? Yeah, great stuff.
This is really good.
I got to say, in the studio version of this song, there's a lot more guitar playing. The last couple of minutes are just him on guitar. In this version of the song, there's not a lot of his guitar playing.
Yeah.
So this particular song doesn't really showcase his guitar skills.
But just him overall.
Yeah, him overall. It's just the vibe of who is B.B. King.
Yeah.
It captures it totally.
Yeah, he's a really remarkable stage presence, and he has one of those faces that just is meant to be iconic or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? I mean, we've covered plenty of artists where you look at them for the first time when I show you an artist, and at least when I found out about those artists, I think, wow, this person just was meant to be somebody type of thing, and he has that stature to him.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good so far.
Great.
Really good so far. It's an interesting way of clapping like this.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
His voice is sort of similar to his guitar playing. That'll go high up and then come back down and then stop and stuff.
Very true.
They're definitely, it's like him, whatever he puts out.
The guitar is like an extension of him himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring it down, boys. I think he earned his pay tonight.
That was so interesting at the end there. He started going crazy with the guitar.
Right at the end.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
To just I can do that stuff too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The rest of his guitar playing
BB
have.
King. BB King. Woo!
So that's it, yeah. The rest of his guitar playing.
The rest of his guitar playing had those big spaces in it.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's lots of flavor in it, and it was a little bit dramatic.
Yeah.
And abrupt sometimes.
Uh-huh.
But at the end there, he did sort of like what, you know, some of those guitar players that do solos, maybe metal guitar players.
Yeah.
Where it's a quick succession of
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. It was his first crossover, like I said. And the reason it was his first was because in the 50s, when he started up recording, rock and roll started up at the same time, but he stuck with the blues. Whereas guys like Chuck Berry, who you've heard of, and some of the other black blues guys kind of transitioned into rock and roll where the money was.
So why did he do that?
I think he was just true to his music form. He just loved the blues.
Oh.
I think that's probably why.
Well, yeah, right. But wasn't BB also the first one to not do it traditionally with electric guitar?
Yeah, there was a guy named T-Bone Walker who started in the late 30s who was also an electric blues guitar player. I think he was the pioneer.
Oh.
And BB actually met him. And it was when he met T-Bone at a recording studio and saw him playing electric blues guitar that BB said, damn, I want to
really?
be an electric blues guitarist.
Oh, that's cool.
But he became very popular among the black community in the States. But white people were not listening to this music at all.
Was it only until he did the electric?
No, he was doing electric guitar then. Right through the 50s into the beginning of the 60s, people in the States, if you weren't black, you weren't listening to the blues. And then what happened, Kai, is the British discovered American blues artists, and brought a whole ton of them over to England. These artists would come over. The Rolling Stones would invite them over, and other big English bands would invite them over.
But why the British?
I don't know. I don't know why the British were enamored with the blues. I'm not quite sure why. They found it to be...
Is it because it's like closer to folk? Stories of folk music of...
It could have been. Maybe the
British
appeal
time.
was just the very simple lyrics and the simple style.
Repetition.
Right? Yeah. I'm not quite sure. So they went over to England and were showcased over there. And then slowly, partly due to that, and partly because there were a few white blues musicians in the States, a guy named Paul Butterfield and a guitarist named Mike Bloomfield, really good white blues guitarist. They also tried to promoted these incredible black bluesmen, guys like B.B. King, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, right? So those musicians, blues musicians, became known to 18-year-old white middle class kids in the States. All of a sudden. So now there was an opportunity for a guy like B.B. King to be
Put on a platform.
Thank you, and to be listened to on commercial, mainly white radio stations a bit.
So,
you know.
but yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That's interesting, and blues was the precursor to rock and roll.
Yeah.
But
Blues and country a bit as well.
And at that time, rock and roll had already been developed by
Yes.
white artists.
Yes.
But then how did the blues turn into rock and roll if white people weren't listening to blues?
You know, there were actually a few black artists who were instrumental in starting up rock and roll too, really early. Good stuff.
That was really good. That was really good.
Yeah.
I was sort of glad that he had a voice. I wasn't sure if he was strictly a guitar player, which would have been really impressive and cool to see as well, but just a little bit more challenging to approach, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And he doesn't for me, he doesn't have a conventional or a very traditional blues voice, does he? Usually I feel like they're a lot more sort of coarse and sort of croaky.
Maybe that's true. I'd have to stop and think about that one. To me, it's totally the
Normal.
blues.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, but just his own thing.
His own thing. Yeah.
It for sure had more of a soul feel to it of
did.
artists at that time.
You know what? The last part of that song where he started going on the guitar, dun, where he sped it up, dun, 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 I don't remember what he was doing, right? That's not on the album, on the song on the album. Yeah, that's got almost a soul. It's soul, basically, isn't it? In that guitar where he's going faster in the guitar. Yeah. I think he threw that in there just to
Spice things up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
Great. If you like that, oh boy. British blues that I love. Now we've opened up this can of worms. So when it's my chance to play a song, I'll play you some stuff from the wonderful world of British blues.
Sounds good.
Yeah, great. Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. And check out more BB King if you feel so inclined.
Thanks for watching with us. See ya.
Bye-bye now.